In this video, I'm going to show you the number one polarity secret to you embodying either the feminine energy so that you can attract the masculine, or the masculine energy so that you can attract the true feminine energy that you desire. This is what changed everything for me, and this is the missing key for so many people, especially people that are on the spiritual path of awakening. Now, the first thing I'll say about this is that intention, when you are intending to attract love, you're intending to attract a feminine or a masculine partner, I want you to look at that word intention, because intention has the words in it, intention, and there lies the secret to true magnetic energy. The answer is tension. It's tension. When you see, let's say, you see something that sexually is attractive to you, it creates tension inside of your body. Imagine somebody that is assertive, like someone that's really in their masculine frame, should be leading. That person should be directional. Imagine they go up to somebody, normally the masculine will go up to the feminine, and will maybe ask the feminine out, or maybe show desire for the feminine and lead the feminine. If that is the case, what happens is that creates tension inside of the feminine. At the same time, it may create and it may have the masculine feel a level of tension to even go do that. And that is because that tension shows and reveals vulnerability. It reveals desire. Now, let me share with you a little bit of where I was to where I am now, and how that completely changed, and why tension completely changed my own level of being in my own masculinity. And why I think also that this is the most common problem or challenge within spiritual community. So first off, the way that I used to be is it was very hard for me to set boundaries. It was very hard for me to show interest in someone that I was dating, because I wouldn't want to be rejected. So what I would do is I'd like someone, I'd hang out with them like as a friend, and there were many times I can look back and see that they were like, why isn't this guy making a move on me? Why isn't this guy showing that he's attracted to me? Sometimes they would then think that maybe I just wasn't interested. And it was because I was afraid to show my actual intent of wanting to get to know them or to go out with them. And because I wasn't showing that, it would then put me into what is called the friend zone. This is very common of people that are people pleasers or nice guys. They get put into the friend zone because they aren't being vulnerable. They want to be nice. And they want to be nice means they're also manipulative. It's, I'm going to be nice to you, and you're going to give me validation, approval, or you're going to feel good. You're not going to feel any tension at all. No tension here. And what happens is, because there's no tension, there's no sexual attraction. Tension is when you give the ability for someone to decide how they feel about you. When you put yourself out there vulnerably, that creates tension. Because yes, you could get rejected. However, when you put yourself out there like that and you are vulnerable, it opens up something inside other people. So I went from it being very challenging for me to express myself in that way. For me also, it was hard for me to express what I really wanted to do, because I tuned my own frame to whoever I was dating. So when it comes to like going to restaurants, it's like, well, what do they want to do? I only want to do what they want to do. I don't even know who I am or what I want. And then it was very hard or challenging for me to lead the feminine, because I was so much tuning to them. And what this would lead to is this would lead to me being with people that a lot of times would not feel safe. The feminine would not feel safe because I was not leading. I was not in my own masculine energy. I was not providing that tension, that healthy tension that creates that level of attraction. It's funny, there's a guy named Andrew Tate. I don't know if you've seen this guy, but super interesting guy. He's all over YouTube. But he has this, I wanted to eventually like break down this video where he's talking about like, there's a lot of his perspectives are super toxic, but there's some level of truth in some of the things he says. Let me say that again. There's a little bit of truth in some of the things he says. I'm not, because he's pretty toxic. But one of the things he's saying, he's like the feminine, or he says woman, he's like, women, they need drama. You have to constantly give your girl drama. You have to constantly give your girl drama because what she's going to do, she's going to go home at night and she's going to watch serial killer documentaries just so she can relax so that she can fall asleep. All right? He has this like bit where he says that. And basically what this guy's shtick is, by the way, is he says the most polarizing shit that triggers so many people and then everyone shares his content. So that's how he gets views. Awareness. But one of the things that's interesting about that is in a weird way, if women do not find tension, not in a toxic way, that is a toxic perspective on it, that you have to give your woman drama in order for them to stick around, which is like the toxic part, where a lot of times as well, that's where like the woman or the feminine may have had toxic energy when she was a kid, when she was a child, and like that feels familiar, that feels normal, so then she'll stick around a guy that's also toxic. So that plays on a very different node of what I'm talking about here, but in general, some of it is somewhat true, where people will find tension in their life. They will find things in their life that either feel familiar from childhood, so a lot of this is becoming aware of those triggers, but also sometimes if they find a very feminine person, they may try to create that tension in some way. So what is a healthy way of that tension? Well, when you are embodying the energy that you came here to embody, so for me as a masculine, that means directionality. That means I'm going in a certain direction, and I am focused on that. Normally, masculine as well is focused on one thing at a time, whereas the feminine can focus on many things at a time. But one of the parts of this is I have a vision for something I'm creating in my life. I'm going in that direction. My purpose is very important to me. And because I'm on that path, that is attractive to the feminine. Now, at the same time, there is energy that has to do with being masculine, which means being solid, where my energy does not waver based on the feminine, what some people call the feminine storm. But it's like the feminine energy can be a little bit chaotic because the feminine energy is more based on emotion. So it kind of changes based on the emotion it feels. Now, if the masculine begins to move, let's say every time, which is what I used to do, the feminine would maybe feel a certain way. I would then tune. So let's say this is the feminine orbiting. This is the way my shadow work coach explains it. Masculine energy is supposed to be like a rock. Feminine energy is orbiting the masculine. All right? And what happens is if the feminine pulls away a little bit, maybe feeling a certain way and pulls away, and then the masculine comes up like this, it's then changing the orbit, and then it causes the feminine to go into this crazy orbit because the feminine wants to feel safe. And the way it feels safe is through consistency and integrity. And then it can move away a little bit, and the masculine doesn't go chase. The masculine stays so that it's okay, so then it allows it to come closer. Now, neediness, codependency, is when the masculine is constantly changing to chase the feminine. And what you want to do, and one of the most powerful things to do when we're talking about tension, is to have something that you stand for, to be focused on your purpose, to be focused on your own level of integrity, to showing your own vulnerability. Because then you don't waver as much, you're not dependent as much, you're not codependent on what someone else is thinking or doing. Now, one of the biggest problems is that nice guys and people pleasers, they have an identity that says, I am a nice guy, I am a people pleaser, I must please other people. This normally, by the way, comes from childhood because as a child, you had to please your parent. The love for you was conditional. And you had to constantly prove yourself, to prove you're good enough, to prove that you are enough. And in order to do that, you would attract people that maybe didn't approve of you or didn't give you that love unconditionally so that you could fight for it to show that you are worthy because you're trying to close the loop from childhood. Really what this is, by the way, is as a kid, you decided it's not safe for me to just be me. I'm not worthy the way I am, so I'm going to abandon myself to make other people happy. So then you moved your own center of gravity and you started trying to make everyone else happy. The challenge is that then you're not solid in who you are, you're not living to your own integrity, and you're chasing validation and approval. And the challenge with that is that then tension, you're avoiding tension. Tension is you being the real you. Tension is you expressing and not holding back your true perspectives. Tension is when you set boundaries with somebody else, when there's something that you don't want to do, but somebody else wants you to do it. It may require tension to express that you don't want to do it. But when you understand your true sense of value and your true sense of worthiness, you won't do shit you don't want to do because you will value yourself more than the older version of you. You will value yourself more than to abandon yourself. And it is attractive for you to be in your own center of gravity. It is attractive for you to love yourself. It is attractive for you to set boundaries because it literally is showing the world that you value you. And when you are abandoning yourself, I promise you, other people won't want to abandon you. It's not a guarantee, but it is much more likely that when you're not abandoning yourself, they won't abandon you, and you won't be dependent on them abandoning you, and that makes it even more powerful. Someone else can't really abandon you, by the way, unless you agree and you abandon yourself. You can't really, rejection isn't really rejection unless you internalize it. There's power that comes with going and leading into tension. And one of the biggest challenges I see with spiritual people is they avoid tension. They avoid tension. They don't want other people to disapprove of them. They don't want to rustle the feathers too much, but that leads them not creating their dream life. That leads to them not asking the guy or girl out because I want to avoid tension. I want to avoid being rejected or being abandoned. But success in dating, success in following your purpose, it will require you to lean into tension. When you become comfortable going into tension, you will feel way more confident. There was a part of me recently, I had to send a voice note to somebody that I was kind of avoiding, something I had to express. And the old version of me would have waited a long time to do that because I didn't want to rustle the feathers. I didn't want them to feel disapproved. I didn't want them to feel bad. But then I said, you know what, screw it. Now I'm in a pattern to where there's something I don't want to do, I just do it. I sent a voice note immediately, and it was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, this person's going to feel this way. They were super happy that I actually said that. And people will respect you more. Talk about attraction and sexual attraction. People do not respect people that abandon themselves. People do not respect people that aren't being real, that aren't being vulnerable. You being real, you being vulnerable, you think is going to cause you rejection. It's going to cause people not to like you, or it's going to cause people's disapproval. When you approve of yourself, that's when you don't need other people's approval. That's when you're not seeking it. When you don't seek it, you get it. It's freaking crazy. When you don't seek someone else's validation or approval, you will naturally get approval and validation because you don't need it. You're not needing that energy. You're giving it to yourself. You're more so being present to the moment. Present moment energy is attractive. When you're having fun, that is attractive. When you want to try to manipulate the environment to give you what you want people to think of you as attractive and sexy. You want people to respect you. You want all these things. That's outcome focused. I'm going to be this way to get that response. Instead, be you. Live according to your own integrity. Validate yourself by understanding that validation does not come from outside sources. You validate yourself by being yourself, by making the choice to be vulnerable, by setting boundaries with other people, by saying yes to what the hell you want to do, by saying no to what you don't want to do, and by not abandoning yourself any longer. These are all ways that completely create sexual attraction in the gender that you are preferring. But in order to attract a feminine person or a masculine person, you have to be in the opposite energy to create polarity. So feminine energy, that means more so be nurturing, be in your flow. You don't have to have a regimented schedule. You can focus more on being in your body, on feeling, on being in your emotions. And as you do that, you are more likely to attract masculine energy. You need to be carefree. The masculine needs to be directional, on their purpose, clear, needs to express what they really want. If you have someone you're attracted to, say, listen, I'm attracted to you. You don't have to say it like that. You say, hey girl, what's your sign? Or whatever the hell you say. But what you want to do is you want to be clear. I remember when I started doing this, I'm telling you, it changed everything. And I've seen this in my communities, in my groups, in my 21-day challenges. When people start living according to this principle, it changes everything. Lean into tension. Get into the unknown and watch how much magic begins to transform into your life. Now, if you want to get more into your own energy, if you want to get into your own frame of reality and create polarity from the inside out, there is something that is called the Magnetic Mastery Membership, which is a monthly community where every single week I go live with hundreds of people. We do live coaching, live accountability groups, live meditations to completely transform our identity from the inside out so that we can be strong in our own frame to create our dream life without falling back to the old patterns. If you want to join this exclusive community and you want to become the most magnetic version of you, to raise your vibration to the next level, and to really rewire and understand there's other people like you out in the world, then now is the best time to join. Click the link below, go to www.magneticmastery.com, join the highest vibrational community on the planet, and I hope to see you on the inside there. Also, if you want one of the most powerful videos for the 5 secrets to letting go that make you magnetic AF, it's one of my most powerful videos. If you haven't seen it already, maybe if you've already seen it, watch it again. It'll wire all these ideas in a very powerful way. In this video, I want to share you 5 secrets to letting go that will make you more attractive and that will completely transform your life. And when you start applying them, it changes everything, because you start realizing who you really are and you start letting go